Hi guys, I'm delighted to be here once again and we're a really, really special guest this time. She's been on before, but we just had to get her on again. She's gone and done it again, hasn't she? She's now a 12-time world champion. What an absolutely unbelievable feat from Kelly Fisher. First of all, welcome Kelly. How are you feeling?
Hey Mark, I'm feeling absolutely on top of the world. You seen about Yeah, yeah, no, I'm really, really excited and you know, God, I'm just over the moon with coming away with that world title. Kind of still in shock a little bit, really. Mm.
Six world snooker titles, two world billiards championships, two world nine balls, a world 10 ball, and the only kind of one that was missing from that pack, if you like, to make the full set was the eight ball. Okay, it's Chinese eight ball, in my opinion, a much harder eight ball to win than American eight ball. I don't know whether you agree with that.
I
Is
do, yeah, I do in different ways for sure, yeah. Um, it's a tougher game, but American eight ball being a slightly, well, we say easier game, that means that all the top players are very good at it. So which one's harder to win, I don't know. But the game itself, yeah, of course, Chinese eight ball is hay ball, shall we say, is certainly a tough game to clear the table.
should Jasmine be worried about retaining her title next year? Because obviously
Well,
you'd love this one as well, right? There's no doubting you want this one as well, yes.
of course, of course. Um, yeah, I mean, I've with last year was the first eight ball world championships, American eight ball world championships, that we've had, to my knowledge, from me playing American pool, and before, I believe. So, Jasmine did great. I've never, that was my first ever American eight ball tournament, apart from when I was an amateur and I first come to America and I played in the BCA Grandmasters, which was eight ball. So that was my first ever professional eight ball tournament, American eight ball. So I didn't give too much expectation to myself, but I felt like I can, of course, I can play. I'm um, up there to be able to have a chance of sure, for sure. But yeah, deep down, I mean, that would really seal the deal, wouldn't it? If I could manage to win that before whilst I'm still playing, let's say, yeah, for sure.
Well, you won your first title back in 1998, I believe, and
Hmm.
here, like three decades later, you're winning another one and still looking good. I mean, I've got to be honest and hold my hands up. I find it very difficult to watch you because I've obviously got a vested interest. You're a good friend of mine, and I just cannot bear to watch some people play. And I didn't watch any of your matches up until the final, but I thought I've got to watch the final. You're playing against probably the best Chinese eight ball player, female player in the world at the moment in Shi Xiangxi, right? Playing some great stuff, isn't she?
Yep.
I I don't want to say I didn't think you was going to win, but I knew it was going to be very, very tough. I think it's also fair to say she didn't play her best. I saw her
Hmm.
miss a few balls that you don't normally see she miss,
Yep.
but I didn't think you played your best. I hadn't seen you play earlier on in the tournament. How was your form leading up to the final, the semi-final and final? How did you feel?
Well, to be honest with you, I actually played really, really well. Like I was even in a little bit of what to say, not shock, but I was very happy the way I was playing in the first rounds, and all the way through to the semi-final. I'd played, and I thought I'm playing very well here, and the practice has really helped. And obviously, I'm juggling between playing 10 ball, 9 ball, and Chinese hay ball, Chinese pool. So if you don't put the time in, I've played in a hay ball event, and kind of it takes me a good few matches to really look at the table and just know what to do, see the patterns, see the clearance, see the right shots, and the right choice of ball set. Is it going to be the blues or the pinks? Or so I started out the gate really good, and like I said, the first matches all the way to the semi-finals. Did I play it? Probably my top game, really. Played very, very solid. Semi-finals are a little bit rocky, and I think that pressure were coming in. I've got to be honest. No matter how many years or tournaments you've won, or how many years you've played, there's nobody can tell me that you don't still feel that. I'm not unique, that's for sure. And I certainly was feeling that pressure coming on because I'm thinking, I'm playing as good, if not, when I looked around, I was playing very well. I don't mean to sound big-headed, but I was playing probably one of the best in the tournament at that time. And a few people had told me that. So, I'm thinking, right, you can do this. You're in with a chance. And I don't forget my last Hayball event. I won in the European Championships and the European Open. I'd won 2 out of 2, and in the European Open, beaten Marion Jude, and I'd also, oh, sorry, that was in the European Championships, and I'd then beaten Shi Tianqi in the final of the European Open. So I'm thinking, there's a realistic chance here if I play like I have been, of me winning this. But you can't think like that for too long. It's just a flash thought. And I thought, it's one match, one ball, one rack, one ball at a time. But I noticed my game was certainly there were a few mistakes in that semi-final. Played solid overall, but a few mistakes that I hadn't been making earlier in the week. And then in that final, yes, for sure, Shi Tianqi did not play at her top level, and nor did I. It was a bit of a scrappy game here and there, but a very good game here and there, exciting here and there. It had everything, it had a big mixture of really everything you could really want in a final for the spectator, but not for the player.
Yeah, I thought your tactical, what tactically wise, I thought you were better than her. It's probably an experience thing. But I
Well, I
definitely,
don't know. I mean, when you talk about experience, Mark, this is her game. This she plays this full time. She doesn't mix and match with 10 ball, 9 ball American pool at all. So this is a full time game. So experience wise, and tournaments, she's playing every week. She's playing in tournaments in China every week, every month. I would say she's definitely more experienced in hayball than me. However, overall, yes, of course. My God, I've been playing as long as she's been born. So we can't even compare there. But tactically wise, I won a few of the tactical battles, but I also have watched it back and realized that I play some terrible choices, shall we say. And that's just really from not being full time at this game. I mean, there was a rack there that I should have, when a 8 ball was over the pocket, I should have gone for a stalemate or gone to hide a 8 ball completely. And there I do, I go for the run out. I do what I know best at that moment. And I remember thinking, I'm not sure what to do here. I knew what I was doing wasn't the right choice, but I didn't know how to tactically get the upper hand with their 8 ball over the hole. Another one, I'd gone for really again the attacking when I should have played safe on a couple of racks. I should have gone a little bit more safety, but the safety battles that we had, yes, I did seem to come out on top of them. And she were very attacking this game as well. I think, she is anyway,
yeah.
but certainly then she played a couple of safety choices where I thought she should have gone for it. It was a very big, I think we both wanted it so bad that, on a shot clock, in the moment, in the final, well, in that arena, televised, both of us wanting that world title. I think we've got to say that, we all know, and we've watched many finals, that it's not always the best game that's been played throughout the tournament, or it's got, a lot of pressure attached to it, and there's mistakes made, that's for sure. And I think we both did that, but it was an exciting game.
Yeah, I know the rack you're talking about, the one with the 8 over the pocket.
Mm.
It was an impossible run out, I thought. But
Yeah,
the more I saw your thinking, I could see you were going to play that double. I could see how
yeah.
you're going to get on the last blue. If you would have made, all I'm saying to myself, I'm watching it and I'm going, please make this, please make this, please clear this up. This will be the best clearance ever. This will be better than Chris Mellins against Mika Immonen. If you do this, this is going to get millions and millions and millions of views on on YouTube. Please make it. And you were so close to doing it as
I
well. I
know,
mean, you
I
just
know.
missed the last blue ball, didn't you, along the rail? Very
Yeah.
difficult shot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought to myself the same thing when I banked that second to last one. I thought, wow, you're in with a chance here. Never for 1 minute, as I'm doing one by one, I'm thinking, well, I can see it, but I mean, on them tight pockets, that bank, I thought, I've got to go for it now. I've no choice. I should have, if I were going to do the safety way and try and get the upper hand on her by the safety way, then I should have done that early on when I had
Yeah,
multiple
it was
balls on
two.
the table.
You were in. You had to go.
I'm
You
in.
was all in, right?
I was all in. It was like playing poker. I'm all
Yeah,
in.
you're
So
all
I
in.
went for it, and I thought, well, this is doable. And then that last one down the rail, I really, really focused. Probably too much. If I'd have got down a bit more natural or just a little bit more normal. But you've got to on them tight pockets now, and I really, yeah, I missed it. And but that would have been some clearance, that's for sure. The wrong choice, but the
Yeah,
great clearance in the
the
end.
wrong way to go. But sometimes you kind of just get drawn into that, and you couldn't get
I
out of
didn't,
it.
yeah.
Basically, you
That's
just had to go.
exactly the best way to say it, drawn into it. I didn't know the other option. I knew, but I just couldn't see it. And on the shot clock, I, I had to go for it. Even with ball in hand, I thought, right, which ball to cover her ball? How can I stop her from doing the one rail kick because there was a gap? And I just couldn't. Yeah, maybe in the moment, put me back there again, I'd choose totally different. But at that moment, I've watched it again. I thought, you just don't know what to do here, Kelly. And it was true. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
So I did
great
what I knew
effort,
best.
great
Yeah.
effort, and it was dramatic, and it was great. You mentioned there that you play all the other sports, whereas she is just playing Chinese eight ball all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
How difficult is it for you to keep changing, to keep going back to nine ball, 10 ball? How does it how does it feel going back to playing nine ball on an American table after playing on an eight ball? Because I think you adjust to an eight ball table a lot quicker and a lot better than you do going back the other way. Is that a fair?
Correct. Mhm. Definitely. So, in a nutshell, basically, it's you know, for hay ball, the the stroke for anybody is shorter than what you need for nine ball, 10 ball, because you do less with the cue ball. The table itself in hay ball is bouncier, quicker. There's less movement required because you've got multiple balls. So whereas in nine ball, 10 ball rotation, you're doing a lot more spin, a lot more movement on the cue ball. So it requires a longer stroke. I've already got a short stroke. So that's why for snooker, for hay ball, my stroke works pretty good. Yeah, okay, it could be improved. We all know that, but it works well for them disciplines. For American pool, I really need, and I've worked all my career on American when I'm playing American pool to improve and lengthen that stroke. I've never mastered it, if I'm honest, and it is what it is. And I've done okay, but going backwards and forwards, it's easier. That's the reason it's easier for me to adapt straight into hay ball because it's my shorter, more comfortable stroke. But I've already come back here to practice nine ball, and it's not easy. I'm finding that I'm jabbier. I'm gripping the cue too early, because again, I'm used to for this shot, the stroke being this. When I need to do more with the cue ball now, I need to make it this, and it's becoming too jabby, too short. So these last 2 days, I've been practicing nine ball, and yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I need to be patient. I need to, just keep going on the table until I get that comfort again. Um, so mentally as well, I know that. Even subconsciously, I know that. So going to China A ball, I'm like, I enjoy it. I enjoy practicing it because automatically it kind of just feels natural to me. But now going back to nine ball, I feel like, oh, this is hard work kind of thing. And, I don't enjoy it as much in that sense, but it's challenging. And do I think it's affecting both games. I mean, if I focused on one, definitely I could improve on one more, more than I am doing juggling right now. So I think it's hurting my American pool. And I think that my hay ball could be better if I had more time to put into it. But at the end of the day, is Kelly going to not play in the World Nine Ball Championships in December? No. I'm just competitive. I love playing tournament. I've played American pool for a long, long time. And if I have to juggle it, a bit like Chris Mellon, a bit like some of the other boys as well, if you have to juggle it, you have to juggle it and just do your very best because I enjoy both disciplines.
I just want to touch on that final again just a little bit because to me, you never look nervous. You always look ice cold. You're focused. You're very much in the moment. Um, was there any? Did you just kind of go through that final feeling pretty good, or was there a moment in it where you thought, "Hang on, I need to take a break. Get out of this arena. I just need to regroup my thoughts or anything." Did you feel it was not slipping away, but did you find you should be in a better position than you actually were, or how did it feel in that final?
Well, if I'm totally honest, I felt very nervous, more nervous than I anticipated. I'm more nervous and jittery, let's say, than I can last remember. I'm totally honest. I don't remember being as, I use the word jittery, but I did. I felt a bit shaky. I felt my heart were palpitating. Um, yeah, I didn't like it. Because normally, it is what it is, and I'm comfortable. I'm just trying to focus and just give it 100%. But I didn't feel as relaxed as normal. I felt a lot more nervous. Maybe that's because myself and Lionel, my coach, Lionel Payne, have talked about what it would mean to go and get that fifth discipline, which I believe is a world record at the moment. I don't believe any other players got this world championship titles in over five disciplines. I myself and Darren Appleton had it over four, I believe, if I remember rightly, but I don't think anybody's got five. So we talked about that, and last year we talked about that, and the year before we talked about that, and in the American Eight Ball World Championships we talked about. So we hadn't talked about it right before the final or anything like that, of course, because that would be crazy to put that pressure. But it's there. I already knew that. So when I went and I ended up 3-0 up, it was because she'd made two errors. And even them little clearances that I'd kind of mopped up the balls that she'd left me. Gosh, I remember I was feeling like tentative and the word again I'm using is jittery, really. So to go 3-0 up, it relaxed me a little bit, but I still weren't comfortable. It was sitting in my seat, and people won't believe it, but I could feel my heart was going. And I thought, come on, relax, what's wrong? And I'd had this vitamin powder I put in my drink. And I thought it was a different one I'd not tried before because I ran out of the ones that I use. And I thought to myself, maybe it's that. Maybe it's this that's got too many vitamins in it or too many of something that right at this moment, I don't need that maybe. So I asked for a water, regular water, and stopped drinking the drink that I was drinking. Anyway, she come back to 3-3, and in Hayball, it's you can't take a break whenever you like. You only can take when there's a mandatory break after six racks. So even she'd come back to 3-3. So now it's even more tense. I'd we had to take a break, and the first thing I did was call Lionel. I said, Lionel, I know I've been up 3-0. I know it's 3-3, but I'm just not feeling. And I told him everything I've just told you. And he's just talking to me, keeping me calm, telling me to breathe and just relax, etc., etc. And the second thing I did, I felt better after that. We always work well together. He's been my mentor since I was a kid, since I was 12, all 35 years ago. So we're like family, and he knows what to say. Um, And then from there, I gave, which we'll go into later, but I've been doing some mindset training to enhance my performance and stuff with Noel Flannery from Q Sports Hub. And we've created, as we'll go into later, Q Sports Hub USA that we've launched last week. So basically, I've done some one-on-one with him, and I've found it's the way he does train you or kind of help you really suits me, and it's unique. It's different from what I've experienced before with other psychologists, things like that. This is a lot more like to do with the performance, the mindset as an athlete. But anyway, so I messaged him. I didn't have time to be calling, so I messaged him, and straight away there he was replying there, telling me, just how to kind of handle it. Anyway, okay. Do I think my heart's going to stop palpitating? No. Do I think that my jitters are going to disappear? No. But I felt so much better. I went out there and she broke dry. I reverse dished and then broke and ran. I'm like, it's like magic. But it didn't end there, and nor did everything go away. But I just felt calmer. There's no magic that anybody else can tell you, but you do need that support. You do need the go-to people. And I just come out a little, okay, it is what it is. And yeah, we know the rest. You come back to 5-5 and we ended up in a shootout. But at that very moment, what a difference that made, just to relax, like kind of get reset, if you like.
And
Yeah.
then you missed your first shootout shot. By the way, I'm so pleased they've changed that from putting it on the black spot,
Yeah, me too.
because now people have got a chance to make it, but it's still missable as well, which is kind of nice also, right? So it's
Well, the main thing, Mark, is it's a skill shot. The cutting it from down at the bottom, that's just one in however
that's
many,
a trick shot.
It's yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like you're lucky if you make it because the percentages are so small.
Yeah.
So then it's just showing players missing, missing, missing. Whoever luckily makes it, 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5. Okay, well done, you've won. Whereas realistically, that now how it is being on the spot, it's a skill shot. In a match, you're wanting to make that too. You're going to go for that too. Whereas the other one, in a match, you wouldn't go for it.
No.
So I think it's important to change that. And to have missed that first one, I'm like, I rattled it, so I didn't feel too bad. I didn't butcher it, if you know what I mean. So I sat down in my seat. She's made the first one I've missed. And I'm like, this is maybe not meant to be. This is what went through my mind. This is not maybe meant to be. It actually relaxed me a little bit. I thought, right, okay, you've missed, you might lose now. All right. I didn't think too much of how I'd feel if I lost. I weren't thinking of losing, but I just thought it'll be what it'll be. It maybe isn't meant to be. So just give it 100. And I kind of relaxed a bit. Which was unusual to say how I felt throughout the match, to then at the shootout be relaxing a bit. It's very funny how the mind can work, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she made the next one, and then I made my one. And like I said, the fact that I was close on that first one helped. If I'd have butchered it, then we'd talk in a different mindset again. And then yeah, I didn't miss after that. So and she did.
And she did, and nobody realised that you'd won. And what I thought was really strange, you'd said something to somebody, and then you went over and picked the trophy up and held the trophy up
Yeah.
above your head. And I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah, certainly the thing that was missing was a couple of things. I think for the TV or even for the audience, there needs to be the timer of the match visible in a much bigger, because I believe from Shitty Chi's reaction in that 5-5 rack, I don't believe she realised the match clock, but she's experienced enough to know that. I knew, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's just by a reaction.
Yeah,
And then,
they did have the clock on the screen
yeah.
for most of the match, but then towards the
Oh,
end they
okay.
didn't. But then what they did was one of the side cameras was going in and zooming in
Actual
on
match
the
clock.
little pad on the
Yeah,
actual match clock. So that's
yeah.
how we knew.
Right. But it's tiny, it's only this big.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
you have to actually look over and kind of walk over a little bit to see it. You can't see it from your seat. So, yeah, that's one improvement definitely needs to happen. And the second thing being when it's a shootout, a bit like what Predator do, it's up there on the screen 1-1, 2-1. And, you see the lives that there's five in Hayball, there's 5 attempts and then it goes to sudden death. Um, so, yeah, they definitely need to do that for sure for the next up and coming match tournaments. So again, as we're playing, I'm thinking, right, this is the last. This is number 5.
this is the last shot. She
Yeah,
has to
yeah,
make
yeah.
this.
Yeah. She
She
has to
doesn't
make
make.
this.
If she doesn't make it, I've won.
I've won, and I'm like, and she goes first. So, and if she makes it, if I make mine, I've won. So, you're thinking of that. And you really shouldn't be thinking of that sitting in your seat. You should be just focused and in that moment. Apart from knowing you should know, not be wondering, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they definitely need to have that for sure for future events. But again, maybe she was doing the same thing, calculating, and it was a bit of an anticlimax because we're looking at each
yeah.
other. Is that confirmed? The referee wasn't as sharp as she could have been for that area, and she should have said out loud last one or whatever, fifth one, and then afterwards it was once I'd won again, it was strange because the cameraman wanted take it, the photographer wanted me to hold the trophy, but there wasn't an official in the arena. So I'm like, hello, it was a bit weird. Yeah, anticlimax. They didn't do that for Gareth because the men's final was afterwards. So they kind of learned that they made a boo-boo there. And, that should have been, I think that would maybe something that maybe the guy wasn't there who was meant to do it. I don't know, but it's all it's something that just needs improving for sure. Bit of an anticlimax at the end, but they did certainly made up for it at the presentation ceremony. That's for sure, which
Yeah.
is where they focus on. But really, they need to definitely make sure that that doesn't happen again when it comes to that player winning the championships. At that moment, I'd like to see confetti. They need to make a bigger deal of it, the fire going and everything else. That's for sure. And I think with Gareth, they did make sure somebody handed him the trophy. It was a bit weird, but yeah.
Before we go for a quick break, Kelly, it would be remiss of me not to mention a certain break of yours and the look you gave. If looks could kill, you got a really, really, and look, it happens. I'm not blaming anyone when you're racking and racking and racking loads and loads of sets of balls.
Yeah, of
You're going
course.
to, every now and then, you're going to get what we call a slug rack, right? And
Mhm.
you really
Mhm.
got a slug rack, didn't you, on one of them
Absolutely. Oh, I was
on the hill?
furious at that set on the hill. Yeah. 5-4. And the rack, we'd not had a bad rack up to that point, and there it comes. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Um, yeah, because you've got to remember, I've gone coming out of the 3-3 from the break, coming out of the break, she's broke dry, and then I've reverse dished, and then I've broken ran. Yes, she won that one to go 5-4, but now it's my break again. I've just broken ran. So, and this is to win the championship. What better way, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. And I'm thinking, what the again, not blaming anyone, everybody's human, it can happen. But I mean, at 5-4 in the World Championship final, you've got to make sure that doesn't happen. I don't care. But it happened, and there we were. And that rack ended up being very scrappy, because the balls were just all together. Nothing had really moved. And hence it went to 5-5. So I know that we'd be talking very differently if I'd lost on that shootout.
Well, she
Right now,
actually, the next rack when she broke off, she went up to check the rack, didn't she? And I've never seen you use like a whip it out of the traps. Like, no, 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 you
well,
can't
we'd
check.
we'd played 10 racks. The first thing is that's the rule. So it's the rule you cannot check the rack. Second part is, which is why I panicked, is because in the players' meeting we were told if we check the rack, the referees can should impose a loss of rack.
Wow.
Now I don't honestly know if that's in the rule. or if that is what they were imposing, and they announced it. They did say that the opening at the players' meeting. That if you check the rack, you will lose that rack. That's a massive rule.
Wow.
And I jumped up. It was actually without thinking. I jumped up and like, no, 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 you can't check the rack because two things. She shouldn't be doing that anyway. She's played enough to know she can't check the rack because she's not checked it in 10 racks and she's not checked it, as far as I know, in the rest of the tournament. Otherwise, she'd have been warned. So
Yeah.
why are you checking it now at 5-5? I didn't, that was one thing. And the second thing is, imagine if she'd have lost the rack and I've won the world championships by that.
Yeah, that's
No,
no good.
that's not a way to win a world
No,
championships, is it?
no,
By losing it, I'd have actually tried to abstain against it and say, well, I want to play it. I don't think I could accept winning like that.
no.
So it was, yeah, my immediate reaction without even thinking of all that I've just said was to jump up immediately. But, anyway, so that, if I'd have lost this final, I think we'd have been talking a little bit differently about them two instances, the slug rack and then they're checking the rack. But it is what it is now, I suppose, and I've accepted it because I won. But yeah, it shouldn't have happened. The slug rack, I mean, and her checking the rack. I think she knows better, but her face tells me that she didn't know. I really don't know.
I
But I'm
think
not seeing.
she just looked so desperate to
Yeah,
check it after seeing the rack that you'd got previously. I think that's
it's
what
a natural.
that it
It's
was
a
just
natural
natural.
reaction
Yeah.
as a player. You've just had seen your opponent get a slug rack. You want to check that you're not. And she even, if you watch closely, she even's telling the referee that there's two balls not touching, not frozen, because she goes like that.
Yeah.
So she's telling them to,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but she had to accept it. Nor should she have known that, but it just shows you that that rack wasn't the best either that she was getting.
No, it wasn't.
So, yeah, anyway, I think naturally she did that based off my slug rack. And I get that. But it's in the moment, isn't it? I think she knew not to do that previously, but she didn't think, and it just automatically natural reaction. Yeah.
More drama to come after the break. You've got a very, very interesting practice regime at the moment of where you are in the world. I don't want you to spoil it and tell them just yet. I can see you
Okay.
sitting in front of the world there. No one knows where you are. So in part two, I want to find out a little bit more about your practice regime and where you actually are practicing these days. And also I want to know a little bit more about this Q Sports Hub. Sounds very interesting. So Kelly
Okay.
Fisher will be back with me, Mark White, back after some messages from our sponsors. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. I'm Mark White, and I'm here with, well, she was a legend already. She's getting more and more legendary every single year. I've actually forgotten to mention her MBE this time. Have you picked it up yet or not?
No, I've not, Mark. I've not picked it up yet. The dates that they've sent me, they give you, X amount of dates. And I guarantee you the conflict, or I'm at the other side of the world and can't get back in time wherever. It's just been a bit of a nightmare. But apparently it's quite common, I've been told, so not to sweat. But yeah, it's looking to be in obviously 2026 now, that's going to happen. So
but they don't take it away from you if you don't pick it up, after a certain amount of time, do they? It's
No,
yours now.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Of course,
Brilliant.
it's just now a matter of going through the ceremony of it. Yeah, to actually have it. But yeah, I'm just that's something I definitely want to get sorted as soon as possible. But it's going to be 2026 for sure.
Okay, great. Well, good luck with that. Now then,
Thank you.
talking about you're always flying all around the world, where are you right at this moment now?
I'm currently in Taiwan. Um, Prior to the World Hayball Championships, I was here training. And now I'm back here. I've only got a couple of days, but I'm now training, as I said earlier, on nine ball, um, just for a couple of days before flying to America.
Right. And it's not just playing nine ball and playing hay ball and stuff like that, is it? You visit some pretty famous places when you're there to go and practice. Like, come on, drop some names. You know what I'm
Awesome.
trying to get out
Yeah,
of you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, prior to the Hayball World Championships, I was training. I had the privilege to train at the Co Brothers training room, and they let me go in there whenever I wanted and practiced on their brand new. They had a brand new Douya table, which is, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a Chinese hayball, 8 ball table. And they just had it installed. So with a Liberwin cloth, exactly more or less the same conditions as what the tournament would have was. So I was very fortunate to have that opportunity to practice at their training room. And it's they've got like 5 tables in there. It's perfect. Now they've got 2 Chinese 8 ball tables because they're playing a lot of Douya events, and then they've got their American pool tables as well, ranging from all the different, like a diamond to a Rasson to, so it's a great training facility. And along with that as well, um, Wei Chen, Wei, she took me to some pool rooms that had Chinese tables in there, and I got, they set up a game for me to play with some of the guys that all great players. I mean, we're talking about Taiwan here. It's the hub for top players that none of us have heard of, including me, that are amateur, are playing at top pro level. That they're just this short of being of what it's a bit like Philippines. So talk about when you go in a pool room, everybody can play. You don't see, somebody who can't hold a cue. You're looking
No,
at
no.
amateur players you've never seen before that are running racks. So yeah, it's a hub where players from all around the world come for a month at a time, a bit like the Philippines come for a month at a time. A very popular player that comes a lot is Soa Soa, and many more. Aloya Shiap spends a lot of time here, and it's just what a great place for training, really, if I'm honest. So yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've in the past come here prior to events when we're in Asia, prior to events, and trained at Rita's Sojae place, playing along with some of the girls like herself, Wei Chen, who's number one or now number two maybe in the world, but was number one in the world and just won the Vietnam Open. And as we know, Rita has won everything too, along with Wan Wan Ling, and you can go on and on and on. And then you've got the male players, you know. So it's a great place to train if you're over this way, and for wherever you're going. So the next event for me now is why I was saying I've transitioned now to American pool for these few days. Only a few days I've got as well. I'm leaving. It's now Sunday. Leaving on Tuesday morning, so I've only got today, tomorrow to put any more time in. And I played yesterday and the day before. That's it. And going to America for a WPBA event.
What's that? The Dr. Q, is it?
Dr. Poole, Dr.
Dr.
Poole
Paul. Dr.
in
Paul.
Wisconsin. It's the end of the year event where we have our players banquet and
Oh,
do voting and stuff like that. It's our like Masters, it's our grand finale event. And yeah, we have it every year. It's a great event and it's in Rothschild, Wisconsin. It's the Dr. Pool Classic WPBA. So I'm looking forward to it, but so far over the last couple of days, the way I've been training, it's not been easy. So I'm like, okay, I've got to really spend a bit of time these next couple of days to polish that up so I can at least go there and give my best performance.
I mean, obviously, you'd love to win the one in Wisconsin, but if you was given the chance of two, look, if you knew, for example, well, I'm going to play the hay ball, my game's going to be great, but I know my American pool's going to suffer, so it's maybe not going to give me as much of a chance in Rothschild in that tournament there. I'm sure you'd have taken their arm off to take the hay ball, but now that you've won that, I'm sure you're just as up
Of course,
for
that's it.
and the fight's there now
Exactly.
to win this one, right? Because it's a
Exactly.
big one, right?
It is. Yeah, it's quite a big one, but um, of course, it's only in my nature and the competitive side of me. But the big one is at the end of the year, which is in December. We've got a few events from now till then. So we've got Spain, which is the Predator PBS event, and that's being held in Valencia in Spain. That's going to be 10 ball. And then the big one is at the end of the year in Jacksonville, Florida, which is the WPA Predator World 9 Ball Championship. Now that's the big one. So wouldn't that be? I mean, let's be real here, Mark. I've transitioned back from A ball to 9 ball. Now, from now on, for the rest of the year, I'm going to be playing American pool because so many events. We've also got the mixed doubles, myself and Alex
Yeah.
playing. There's going to be American pool only now. So by the last event of the year, I've got to get polished up to be going to Jacksonville for that World 9 Ball Championship and being ready. And wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. And well, we all know you've got the heart, the desire. I was just wondering about obviously the desire's still there. Something that really puzzles me or amazes me, I should say, really, is that you've still got at your age that fight in you and that to me, you look unbeatable when you're on the table. I mean, grit-wise, there's no one
Mm.
grittier. You've got that Yorkshire grit, I'm sure, which came from your growing up with your parents, your father being a boxer, and I'm going to get this lovely picture. I am going to get a picture put up. This lovely picture you put up the other day. Was it their wedding anniversary recently?
Yeah, it was my mum's birthday. She would have been 82, and it would have been their 50. But I did calculate, I think 54th year wedding anniversary had they still been here, bless them. And yeah, of course, the grit and determination that I've got is still there, if not no, more so. It's not more so, you can't say that, but it's still there for sure. That's just in me, bred in me, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The practice um passion, I would say, is the tough part, I really enjoy practicing hay ball because it's challenging. And I mean, don't get me wrong, American pool never stops being challenging, but that's the tough part as you've been playing 35 years is to compared to the younger ones, compared to the ones that are still chasing that trophy, chasing that world title, or have their goals that they haven't accomplished yet. I never stop making new goals, but the training part's the hardest. Back to the grit and determination, that's definitely come from my upbringing, and yeah, I would say definitely from my dad. Then led on to Lionel. Together, we formed a great team from me being a young age. So I've been very lucky to have had that. I mean, a lot of players have to do it all by themselves. A lot of players don't have that support. So I've been very fortunate.
One thing I really want to ask you, and it's gone out of my mind for now. I don't know what. Oh, yes, I've just remembered, and it's such an important question for me to ask you. back when you won your first title in '98, compare those times to now. Is it, would you say it's more difficult now to win a world title than it was back when you won your first five,
Well,
six?
well, yeah, for sure. I mean, we're talking about different disciplines as well. So, I mean, at the time when I won in 1998, the player I had to be was Karen Corr, right? And
Yeah,
she were winning everything at the time. So she was like the one I had to beat. And I know we're capable, but like I said, it was her time at that moment. But to lead on, when I won that, I'm like, wow, because I just out of the blue, after not winning a final against her for a while, I won out of the blue. But then to lead on from there, she went to America. And although there were some great players, and still, I mean, you've still got to perform. There were a good handful of us that could play, but only a handful that could win. Sorry, not play. Everybody could play, but that could win an event.
yeah,
But I certainly think, if I remember rightly, that I went on a winning run, and I felt very confident. Back then, I was young, carefree, and I was the best in the world. I had a different attitude back then, as you do when you're a kid. But then when I went to America, of course, it was a whole different game. We're talking about American pool. That if you're the best player out of the two in snooker, Mark, because you've played snooker, that if you're the best player going into that match, that unless you play really, really poorly, the percentages of you winning that match are 80 something percent, let's say, very much more higher than if you've got the same caliber players. You're the better player going into a 9-ball match, but just a bit different, but you are the better player. You never know with 9-ball. You can play 10 sets with the same person and there'll be a different score, different outcome every time. It can all depends on, there's a lot more luck involved. There's a lot more things that can go wrong and go right involved. So that's one thing that I noticed with playing American pool. There was a big difference there. You can't expect to win. You can't know you're the better player and think you're going to win. All you can do is go out there, give it 100%, which makes it more challenging. It makes it more exciting. Yeah, okay, but makes it more challenging, makes it more nerve-wracking. And nowadays, to compare the caliber of players, the amount of players that are at that level now, it's just grown and grown and grown, and it's got tougher and tougher. If I'm honest, there's more youngsters coming through. There's more players from all around the world training that we don't even know are training. Some new Filipino players that have come out recently. So now, for sure, the depth, the quality is higher, the standard is higher, and the depth of the tournament is growing and growing. You've got now, I would say, I don't know if I'm exaggerating or if I'm under lowballing it, 16 players that can win in a tournament now. Now, you never had that before. We talk
no.
about the Chinese, we talk about the Philippines, we talk about now Taiwanese, we're talking about the Europeans, and we can throw names out there and we can go on and on.
Yeah, I think that's the same in the men's and the women's game, to be honest. It's
100%.
probably the top 16. There are about 16 players, maybe 20, that are capable of winning the tournament. Maybe you get an odd one coming every now and then
That's right. That's right.
everything just goes right for them, and they get a good draw, they get all the luck on their side, and
That's right.
that can happen also.
And in Hayball, when you go to China, there's again, that's where that comes in again, because there's so many of them that are competing at such a high level in China. Same in China with the women. There is a lot more Chinese female players that are shit and cheese level, if you like. Chen Min being, I mean, that's in my opinion, throughout all the disciplines, I would say she was my toughest opponent in American pool. I've not had the chance to play her much in Hayball, but she's another one that you can't ever rule out. She's a champion at the end of the day. Now, in China, there's another bunch that we can add on to that. We've got Tang, for example. Muyen, I think her
Sha
name is
Sha, yeah, Moyan Sha Sha
Muyen.
Liu.
Yeah, but Tang, who got to the final of the Joy Masters,
Yes,
and
yeah.
yeah, so I mean, and she wasn't in the World Championships, and nor was Muyen either. So, there's many, and there's a lot more. So, yeah, the standards getting higher and higher. It's getting tougher and tougher. I'm getting older and older, but I'll take it until I quit or until I retire. I'm gunning for everything I can, and I'll take whatever I can get.
Would you see yourself, let's say, let's just pluck a number out there. It's not accurate in any means. It's just a complete number to work with. 5 years. Okay, let's say you play for 5 more years. Would you think that you would be playing more hay ball towards the end of your career than American eight ball? Is that, or would you just still carry on? Because there's obviously the camaraderie as well between the women. I know you all get on so well, so much better than the
Yeah,
men get on together. You're
yeah,
all out eating and drinking together, and after you've just beaten each other up on the table, and you're all out your best
that's
friends.
right. That's right. I mean, Alison's saying right now that she's going to focus. She's not going to travel as much, so she's not coming to China, Australia, Indonesia, wherever the events are all over the world. She's sticking to the events in America, um, and she's missing it. She's missing, the camaraderie. She's missing, of course, competing. And that, I don't even, if I'm honest, Mark, I don't even know if toward, like you just asked me at the end of my career, will I be playing more Hayball? I don't know. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I'm just taking the here and now and doing and playing in what I feels right. Like for example, I missed a Hayball event in Peru. I missed two in Peru, Mexico, because there was PBS American pool events that were in Indonesia, Vietnam. I made a decision on that, and I missed the Champion of Champions as well, of Hayball, to go to these, and I made a decision on that, and I'm just going to do that from now forward. I'm missing Egypt because I'm going to be in Spain, and so on and so on. So I'm going to look at the event, look at what I feel, um, based on the travel, the prize money, if we're honest, and see what I feel like I want to play in. Also, I've got to be smart. For example, we had the Vietnam Open, followed by
The
China Open, which is 9 ball, followed by the Vietnam Open, which is 9 ball, then the 10 ball World Championships. So in the middle of that was the Champion of Champions. That would be crazy for me to flip from 9 ball to hay ball to 10 ball World Championships.
yeah,
So I decided to skip it because I was playing American pool continuously.
yeah.
Not that it helped me any in the results, but obviously I'm only joking there. But yeah, no, it's I'm going to kind of just juggle it and see what I feel like, what I want to do. But you never know the future. I mean, let's wait and see.
Do you find yourself now relying more on your experience? You mentioned this sports hub, which I really love for you to talk about now, if you don't mind, just to let people
Okay.
know what it is, because I wish I knew all about this mindset stuff years ago when I was a good snooker player. I wouldn't have
Mhm.
been breaking cues or walking out the room, after a defeat,
You
annoyed
did that, did you?
and want to give it up. I did it once or twice. Yeah, I did. I'm not proud. I'm not proud to say it. I was always
Hmm.
a very emotional kind of person, shall we say, and
Right.
I
I
never
think us
took luck
Brits,
too good.
yeah, no, I think us Brits are a bit emotional, sometimes too much. I think the I think we are. You can see. I mean, look at Darren, look at Jason, look at, you know, winning is Darren's jumping on the table, losing. You can see, we have got a bit of grit there and a bit sometimes too emotional for sure. Um, Alison's probably the only one that just stays calm no matter what. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So no, the Q Sports Hub USA. Basically, it's a new venture that I have got involved in. They're great guys. There's two of them and myself that are launching or have launched Q Sports Hub USA. They originally, and they still have, Q Sports Hub, the original, which is basically they've done a lot in the UK with a lot of snooker players. And also some pool players such as Chris Mellin and Emma Cunningham, Mary Talbot, and Stephen Ellis. I can go on, and then snooker players such as Gary Wilson, and go on as well. And basically, what it is if a player or amateur, any level player, anybody who just loves the game and wants to improve, basically, we all know that Q Sports is a lot to do with the mindset. We know once you're at a certain level, for pro level, that basically winning and losing can all come down to what we talked about in that final, how much you want it, how you keep calm, how you control the situation mentally, and so on. And I've personally gone to sports psychologists when I was younger and things like that. And don't get me wrong, fantastic. This is not the same thing. This is more like a mindset coach. A mindset coaching program, if you like, to help you with various aspects of the game, such as, how to control the nerves, everybody's different as well. Everybody is different. Suggestions of basically how to gain an advantage, improve where you're at right now, how to, improve your performance by your mindset. Really, that's basically what it is. It's like mindset performance enhancement to get that advantage. And I'll just give you an example. Like I told you in the break, how I there's no magic. There's no magic that anybody can do from afar, but it's just having different ways to look at it, different ways to calm yourself down. And we can talk about, his name's Noel Flannery, and basically he is the guy that he offers one-on-one. And I've been privileged to have a few one-on-one sessions with him, and it's only been very recent. And I have to say, I cannot think for 1 minute that it hasn't helped me. I've just won a world championship. So, I mean, Q Sports Hub, I've been going on their platform. They've got multiple videos, recordings that he talks about various aspects, even down to nutrition, hydration, under pressure, nerves, practice drills, everything you can think of that covers the game, all the aspects of the game, to basically improve you. And everybody's different, but improve you from where you are now, to get your mindset in a better place, to improve your performance, to then obviously gain an advantage over your opponent that's maybe not training in these different aspects or working on improving these different aspects of the game. So, yeah, it's been very helpful for me. I mean, I've just, like I say, won a world championships, and I've been working with Noel and Q Sports Hub for literally since Bali. So since Bali for a month and a half. And we decided just prior to that to begin this journey and create Q Sports Hub USA, that basically it's a subscription. You don't have to subscribe for a year. It can be month by month. You can cancel any time. And it's only $13.99 US. And basically you can go in there and access the hub and watch there's so much content in there, down to drills, but not only that, like I've already explained, the different areas to help with, you're basically trying to help your mindset. So it helps your performance, which I believe has helped me. It's not only helped me just on the table, it's helped me away from the table, which is one thing that he stresses about. This is not something you can just pull up and listen to while you're on the table. You need to be listening to it while you're driving your car. It helps you when you're going into your practice. It helps you on what you're eating, what you're drinking, the sleep patterns, how much you sleep. It covers everything. But what I was going to get to is that certainly leaked over into I feel personally, it's spilled over into my life. So it's actually improved my lifestyle. It's improved my thinking in other realms other than just, oh. So, it's certainly something that can't, I only got involved in because I think and feel and know for me it's worked massively. And I know that it can help other people no matter what level you are. And to think that it can spill over into your general life can not only be a positive thing, right?
Yeah,
All I can
absolutely.
say is, I mean, I can show you these, you
Look at
know?
that. WPA medals.
Yeah, and then we turn it around and there it is.
Oh,
A world champion. So no, I mean, it's certainly Lionel, obviously that's something that's been ongoing for 35 years, and me and Lionel work together about everything, including all this too. But just to have something that, I can like a different way to look at it sometimes, and a way to work on yourself, away from the table and on the table. And, I can pick it up, I can go online, Q Sports Hub USA, log in, and there I have, I can think, right, today I feel this, or, I want to work on this, or, I need to improve on this to help my performance and overall mindset. Just click on it, listen away, and then I can arrange and book a session with Noel, tell him how I'm really feeling. That's what I did. I basically said, honestly, this is the truth. I basically started it with I wanted to talk to him about I mean, me and Lionel talk about it all the time, but Lionel knows me inside out. This is a guy that I know now, but I didn't know 2 months ago, other than hello and a few chats on about the potential of doing something together. And I called him, and we arranged, should I say, a session. And basically, it was to talk about how I really feel, which is what stuff we've already covered. My game in 10 ball, 9 ball American pool, and where I'm at in my life, in my career, the way I feel toward Hayball, and how it's affecting my stroke, different things. And it was honestly, in my opinion, speaking with Noel, yeah, he's got a funny accent, he's Scottish. So the
right.
Americans, people and people around the world might have to listen carefully, or they might have to get, I told him we need subtitles. but uh, but no, he's got a great way of kind of judging, in my opinion, judging you and what you need specifically. And it made me look at things in a totally different way than I'd not really seen before, thought of before. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I can relate to that. All right. It was brilliant. And since then I've had multiple sessions with him, and all I can do is rave about it. So I think now my team consists of, of course, family, friends, support, and all, my fans out there, and people that watch, like my number one fan, Carly McGee, and I can go on and on. But Lionel, myself, we're a team, and I've introduced Q Sports Hub into that, and Noel Flannery, which I've got to say now is on board with the team. Quick fire Kelly Fisher. So I believe we
Oh,
can
wow.
we can the world is my oyster. What's the way I'm saying it? All the doors are open again. Let's go.
Yeah. Watch out, Wisconsin.
Well, I won't go that far, but yeah, we've got to do. Yeah, let's go. That's all I'll say. And watch out for the next year.
I've got to ask you this as well before we end this lovely chat, as it always is when we get
Mhm.
together. We go off on tangents and we talk about lots of different things. Sometimes I might shock you with a little question. I might shock you with one now.
Go on. Do I have to answer, by the way?
No,
I'm
you
only
don't,
joking.
but I know you will
Okay,
because
go
you're
on.
that kind of, you're too nice not to answer. Um, Moscone Cup time just around the corner.
Mhm.
It's the biggest, shall we say, show in the pool. It's like the Super Bowl, isn't it, for
Mhm.
pool? Um, Billy Thorpe just announced last night as Sky's final pick. It's going to be an interesting one. It's the same team last year, but the Europeans have got two new rookies this
Mhm.
year in Moritz Neuhausen and Piers Labutis, two great players. Uh, Neuhausen has already played at the Reyes Cup. He did okay as well there. What I'm saying is it's not going to be brand new for him. But there was a time, of course, when ladies played in the Mosconi. I know the very first one they did because Alison Fisher played in it, didn't she? I believe from
That's
memory.
right. I don't know. I know Jeanette Lee. I've seen video footage of Jeanette Lee playing and Alison playing in the Mosconi Cup. Yeah, yeah. But that's been a long time ago.
Do you think? I mean, they did some commentary on it a few years ago. I was
Hmm.
actually there
It
at the
was
time. I
brilliant.
remember you there up on your
Yeah,
balcony dancing. I remember
it was
that.
brilliant. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was it
Brilliant.
was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, great
Um,
atmosphere.
how would you feel though about them bringing back one lady on each team now? I think it'd add something spicy to it. Another spoke to the wheel, shall we say, more interest from maybe get some more interest in it as well.
100%. I mean, I've said it for a long, long time. I don't know why not, if I'm honest. I can only see it being a more, something different. I mean, we've had this Mosconi Cup for a lot of years now, and we know Europe have won. And, I'm not saying it needs spicing up because it's like you say, it's such a great event that um, is like the Super Bowl, if you like, for us,
Yeah.
or for the men, should I say. But yeah, I mean, I think it really would spice it up, wouldn't it? I mean, like Europe have won, and kind of we see the comments about Europe. I mean, I think Team America last year gave a great fight, and this year it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great event, and I'm always excited to watch it. But can you imagine if there were a lady player on each team?
Who would you
That would
pick?
bring.
Who would you pick for the whip for the each team? Who would be you? Obviously, you for the Europeans,
I
or would
would
you
like to.
would you do it as captain's pick, or would you do it the highest ranked player in the world
I don't.
at
I
that
don't
time?
know. I don't know if I'm honest. I've not really thought because it's not happened, and I never. I don't necessarily sure. I feel it will happen. I hope, but I've not really thought too much about it. Who would I pick? I think it should go on ranking for the first two. I mean, I'm on the WPA board, so I've got to say that it should probably go on ranking because it's something new, and it would only be fair like that. But if you do a captain's pick, there's always that thing of it being you know not fair because she did it. So I think that would be the easiest way to do it. That means I wouldn't be on Team Europe, which is okay.
Who
But
would be this year? Who would be
it
on
would
Team
be
Europe
it would
this
be
year?
Christina to catch for Europe. Yeah, it would.
But can she play for Europe?
I don't think so.
I don't think
So I
she
don't know who
can.
would be next. I don't think she
She's
can.
white
So
flag at the moment. She couldn't
that's
play.
right. So I don't know who would be next, if I'm honest. So
Who would be the European player? Sorry,
that's
The American player.
I honestly don't know off the top of my head the rankings. I don't know.
Or who would you pick? It doesn't have to be from the rankings. Who would you like pick? Who would be a good Mosconi woman to put on the team? Alison Fisher?
Oh yeah, I'm forgetting about Alison. Oh, I can't ever think of Alison other than British. Come on
I
now.
know,
But
yeah,
yeah,
but she
she's
could.
turned on us, hasn't she, Mark?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
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 American.
turned. She's turned.
Yeah, so it would be Alison for sure. You've got April Larson. April Larson's playing a lot of Hayball. So I'm not sure. Yeah, Alison's got to be the pick there. Yeah, yeah. And if Christina could play, you'd pick her. She's world champion at the moment. So, um, you know, but other than that, then it would be me, I think. After that, I think.
You
Again, I could
might
be wrong. Pia,
you,
Pia,
Pia
Pia
Filler.
Filler, Pia Filler. That would
Yeah,
be
that
great.
that
Her
would
and
that would
Joshua in
be
the same,
interesting, wouldn't it?
wouldn't it? That'd be awesome. Yeah, yeah, that would be great. That would be
They're actually
great.
quite an awesome doubles pair, aren't they, as well?
They are. Yeah, they won the
They
last
won
one.
it.
That's
They
right.
won it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very
So
interesting.
very interesting indeed.
So look, I'm sure you've got some practice to go to.
I do, my darling. Yes. I'll just show you this before we go, if you can see that. Don't
Oh,
know if
you've
it's
brought
show.
the trophy as well. Yeah, we're seeing glimpses of it. It's glittering. It's
Oh,
glimmering.
it's too.
Look,
There we go.
yeah, that's all right. We get to see it. The world title,
I
your
know, I know.
12th and your
Yeah,
fifth different discipline.
and I just
Something
want to.
never
I just want to
repeated.
thank everybody for. I'm so relieved, but relieved being because we've talked about this title, to have the five disciplines. But on top of that, so happy. I didn't, I'm 47. Was the chance of another world title? You never know. I remember winning the 9 ball in 2019. I turned 40 thinking I'd never win another one again, only because of the age thing. Well, I've ditched that idea now and I'm coming for more. But thank you to everybody, including you, Mark, for all your support. You're always there. All my, like I've already said, friends, family, fans, but my team behind me, but thank you to everyone. You can't do it without people creating a team of people around you and getting so much wonderful support from everybody out there. And like we touched on about my parents, I've been very fortunate. I had 2 wonderful parents that supported me in anything and everything I ever did. And Lionel were there all throughout that. And without everybody, even if I ended today, I can only be grateful and thankful for what I've won, what I've done, what I've accomplished. I'm very grateful and thankful of that because, yes, I've put a lot of hard work over the years, but you need luck. You need, God's good. You need things to fall in the right place at the right time and have the people and be lucky to have the right people. So many people have been through a lot of hard things and hardship. And I've been very fortunate. I've had a lot of great people and a great childhood and a great family and great friends. So I'm very, very thankful for all that. And of course, my sponsors, Jingshui Billiards, Predator Cues, Horo Tips, and Jam Up Apparel.
And you're looking lean, mean, a real fighting machine, ready
that's
to
a good
fly
one.
to Wisconsin and take
Indeed.
that title, huh? Just to finish off the year in a nice way. And then, of course, let's not forget Spain as well.
Yep. Doubles with Alex.
Doubles with
Even Alex, what a great guy.
mean, what a great player he is as well. I'm really beginning to appreciate how brilliant that man is. I mean, look at the year he's had.
I know.
You're rubbing off on him now as well, you see.
He's rubbing off on me, vice versa.
Vice versa.
Yeah. But I mean,
and then, of course, Jacksonville.
Yeah, and then it's packed. So I've been very lucky to, even with Alex, I mean, there you go. A lot of players are having to switch players. I've got my man and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
he was your on-tour husband. He's since got married. He's got little girls as well, little sweethearts that they are.
He's still my on-tour husband and his wife knows it.
Oh, good. And I think you work really well together. And I'm sure you've got more of those titles to come as well. Kelly Fisher, thank you so much. Thanks, you for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Cheers, my darling. Thank you very much. And I'll see you soon.
Kelly Fisher, 12-time world champion in 5, count them, 5 different disciplines. What a woman. What a woman.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.